Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking success agendas. Yay! So, I had a whole bunch of them the other day that I made a video on. Like, I had the big box with all these different success agendas, and so I showed a bunch of those, and some of those were mini-sized, and I was just talking about how the minis have such a weird division of rings. As you can see right here, you got the two over here, you got one in the middle, two at the bottom, and you see that there is a difference in distance between these two rings and these two, and then these two. This one is a bigger gap than between the ones on the outside, and that means you cannot use a standard perforator or hole punch for these ring systems, and that has always frustrated me because I went looking on their website, on the Success Agenda website, and they have a perforator available, but it's a standard 6-ring perforator, so that would be like this distance and then 6 times. So that was not super handy. And when I contacted the website themselves, like I went and sent them a message. I was like, hey, do you still have the mini perforator? And they were like, yeah, it's right here. And then they linked me the 6-hole one. It's like, no, that's the one for regular. I need the one for the minis because the mini has a different division, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe I'm overlooking it. Can you tell me where it is? Got no reply to that, so they definitely didn't want, or maybe they also couldn't find it and they didn't want to tell me that they couldn't find it or whatever. I don't know what happened there, but they never got back to me. So I still had a bunch of minis and I was not able to get paper in there without having to fidget with my existing hole punches. I have some that are adjustable, and I even have a really long one with like a whole bunch of loose punches that you can like move around to different locations. That did not work for this one either because the distance is too short and too long in certain places for me to put the punches all together on one side and still be able to get this pattern, because the ones that I had, I should have brought one up here. It's a flexible one. You can get them on Amazon for like a couple of bucks, but so it has this large bar over top which has a dent down the bottom, so that when the punch like the thing is pushed down, the pins in the punches get pushed down as well. So there's a whole bar at the top, except around the middle you have like a bar here, middle bit that's missing, and then a small bar in the middle, another bit that's missing, and then another bar here. So you can imagine that if you were to line up a bunch of punches and one that just happens to have to be in a certain spot in the middle, is going to be in that location where there is no bar at the top to push down the punch. So I was not able to recreate this 5-hole layout with my incredibly flexible, otherwise, hole punch. So I was a little bit disappointed about that. So I went looking to see if I could find a 5-hole punch. There's all sorts of different things out there on Amazon promising to be a flexible 5-hole punch. I even looked at the We Are Memory Keepers punch board. That probably wasn't going to work either because I'm pretty sure you cannot get them in this distance. So I was like, okay, so you already have a bit of a struggling brand with the Success Agenda, and then you also have a size that you're still selling. You can still buy these new, the mini, that has a layout of holes that is just not practical. Nobody really has this punch. They used to sell them, but they don't anymore. So that was very disappointing. And after a bunch of trying, I went on a secondhand website, and instead of like putting up a for sale ad, I put up a wanted ad, which is not really officially something you can do on the website, but you just put wanted in the title, and then you pretend that that's something you're selling, but actually you're looking for somebody who has it. And after a couple of weeks, I'd actually kind of forgotten, but somebody had one. So now I have this guy. This is the mini Success Agenda hole punch. It has a certain name and number which does not show up over here, but if you look down here you can see there's 5 punches, and I actually punched this paper with it, so it does it perfectly exactly how you want them. They're very small, the holes, you can see. I'll take it out. Look how tiny these holes are compared to like a regular punch hole. Do I have a regular punch hole? Yeah, here's some random stuff from the HEMA where you can see this is a regular hole size or a more standard one, and then I put this one next to it. There's about half the size almost, so they're very, very small. So, but anyway, it fits perfectly because of course it is the exact punch that I needed. That means I can finally start making my own inserts for the mini as well. The reason why I'm happy about that is of course this is a mini, and that makes it a very cute size. You can just put this in any bag. I have a bunch of minis that I can put in different bags, and I just want to have paper in it. That's kind of cheap. One of the things I've always said is that I want to be flexible in my systems. I want to be able to put inserts in, particularly with these ring systems that I can just change out myself. This size of paper is not super readily available, so what I did was I went to the store again and I got these little notepads. They're bigger. Obviously, if I just put it like next to it, you can see that it's much bigger, but I'll just cut like a chunk off of it. This was also originally a larger page. And particularly with this notebook is that they have serrated edges in here. There, that's like an edge that you can actually tear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to tear a bunch of these pages out, cut them to size, and then we'll have about this much left of the top of the page, which is kind of small, but I was thinking I have, of course, those these guys, the little transparent ones. It's too small for 3 rings to punch like holes for 3 rings, but I can punch 2 holes in that little section that I would then have left at the top, and then maybe I could do one on these 2 holes or rings rather, and then next on these 2, and then just go back and forth like that to make like a little bit of a layered set of notepaper for small notes. Like I find myself often writing only a couple of items for grocery shopping, and I don't fill the entire page, and it's kind of a waste that I have like a whole section of the page just kind of sitting there, because once I've used up the grocery list, I don't really feel like putting other items on here, because then that page in my mind is done. It needs to go. So I was thinking if I just use the excess and put them on these rings one after the other like that, then I have a little bit of a layered system where I can just take smaller pieces of paper out, and then I can just use things more efficiently, I think. So that is what I was planning on doing, and I'm very glad that this thing is still out there. This one is secondhand. I don't know why they still sell these without selling these, because this is probably the most unique whole layout that I've seen, aside from the filofax desk fax with its 9 rings, I believe it was, which I might be able to do with that other larger hole punch that I said with the flexible holes. But yeah, this one is just, it's such a great size. So if anybody from Succes Agenda is watching and you guys still kind of want to sell your minis, make sure that these guys are back on the market, or maybe somebody else who makes these things. It's like, hey, this may be a hole in the market right here. I might be able to capitalize on that. Then make sure to make a 5-hole punch that goes with this pattern right here, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have a mini sitting around at home and they just hate having to buy fairly pricey inserts, to be quite honest, for the amount of paper that you get. I think I've shown one a while back, so it's not a whole lot what you get, and for the size it's quite a hefty price. So people like to be able to do things for themselves and punch their own paper and then put it in here to save some money and also be flexible, like I said. So somebody better make these things again, because the size is nice. Of course this is even more practical, but you know, these are just kind of random that they kind of showed up. You don't always have those. But if you want an actual binder with a pen loop and pockets and things like that, which is actually kind of solid, then the mini Succes Agenda is actually kind of nice. But the holes, that's the main thing. The hole distance is just weird, so either stop selling the minis or start selling these hole punches again. One of the two. You can't do one or the other, you know what I mean? You can't start selling these and then stop selling the minis, because then they don't need it anymore. And you can't continue to sell these and then expect people to buy expensive inserts only because you can't get them otherwise. So that is something that I really enjoyed finding at long last, because it was the bane of my existence, like planner-wise. There are other banes of my existence, but planner-wise, this was one of them. And finally, it is here, so I'm happy with that. And I'm going to continue to make a whole bunch of stuff for my minis. And I hope if you do have minis that you are able to find one of these, so you too can continue to make your own inserts. So that is what I wanted to share real quick. In the meantime, I hope you're having a great day. I hope to see you in another video. Also make sure to drop a like and a subscribe. That really helps my channel along, because I'd like to grow this. Every new subscriber is greatly appreciated. In the meantime, I hope you're having a great day. I hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.